The Heat 76.1 FM Koza.
Gotta say. She can get a taste.
Okinawa's sex, love, and relationship show with King Takashi, the webmaster. Queen J, DJ M, Abituela, Losa, Will Make It, and A Millie.
This week's sponsor is brought to you by Wing King, an Okinawan favorite for years. Offers American-style cuisine for locals and foreigners alike. The family-style seating is the perfect atmosphere for individual, family, or group dining. They have bilingual staff who speak both English and Japanese. They offer over 10 different sauces that is sure to satisfy almost any taste bud. Their delicious sandwiches offer an assortment of toppings, making it easily customizable to fit your palate. Looking for quick takeout, hosting a party, and need catering? Calling your order at 098-936-8986. Again, I say 098-936-8986. They now offer online ordering and delivery at fmkoza.jp, or you can call 098-943-1605 after 5 p.m. They do not take card, however, they do accept both yen and US dollars only. They hope to see you soon. Peace.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, Queen J, alongside Will Make It, DJ M, King Takashi, Losa, and Abituela. And you're rocking with the Heat.
Ooh.
Hey.
Good morning, good evening, good night. What's going on, people? It's your boy, Will Make It.
Hey, it's your boy, Sly in the house.
And it's your boy, Chestnut Chan.
And we lit in this motherfucker.
It's
the guys, man.
Hey, it's guys' night tonight, man.
Saturdays are for the boys.
You already know.
It's about to go down, man. Like, seriously. No women in here tonight. We missing a few fellas, but you know what? It's going to be cool. So
Listen,
we about to kick this off, man.
We have a biased perspective in here tonight.
Exactly. That's what I fucking love.
And I like this. I mean, I wish we had the whole crew, you know, but I mean,
Right.
we got to do what we got to do without them.
The show must go
So,
on.
Shout out to everybody, though. Hashtag free Queen J. We miss you, love.
yeah, Queen J, shout out to Jen out in Yokosuka tonight, you know.
Abituela, we miss you too, love.
Chris.
Hey, Abituela came with me to the ball last night, man, and she was looking phenomenal. dude.
Really?
Dude,
Fickalicious.
yes.
Damn.
She was looking good. Amazing.
That's
So
lit.
everybody else, I'll post that picture up on her behalf. Hopefully
Happy
she'll
birthday,
let me
Marine.
post it.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated
Yeah,
birthday,
happy
Marine.
birthday to
No, that's
Marine.
official. It's today.
Yeah, it is.
And in the States.
Yeah.
In a couple hours, right?
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, man, it's been a crazy ass month.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's just beginning too, man. Like, just like I said, we were talking about that raid that happened in freaking Asia,
Yeah.
man, last weekend.
Weather's changing, people changing.
Right? Relationships changing, people
the
having
season.
babies out the womb. Like, hey, man.
Man. But anyways, I heard you had some topics earlier. Are we gonna bring Jen on to this live conversation? Where's she at? Hold on, let me see.
Bring
Jen
her
at?
up on this, because me and her had a NSYNC moment, and she brought it up as soon as I was about to message it back to her, and it's pretty much misconceptions that women have of men. So I'm dying to get her live on this, because I know my girl is just outright transparent with hers, and she does not give a fuck.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Well, we got her coming on live right now.
My
What's
baby
up,
Jen? What's going on, love?
So TJ had a question for you of the question that you asked on the actual Facebook group, and we thought that was an amazing topic. So
Yes.
I'm gonna let you speak to
What?
him.
So what are some of the misconceptions, being that you are like one of the coup de grace women that I know that holds it down for the woman species? What are some of the misconceptions that you believe women have that we can just, us men can put to rest and be like, no, that shit is not true?
I kind of feel like I'm the wrong woman to ask this question, because I almost feel like I'm so understanding that I kind of take the other stance where I don't judge all men. So it's hard for me to like stand on the outside. I think maybe, you know, you guys spoke about it. I think men cheating, like always going out and thinking that it's all about getting pussy.
Right. You know what? Yes. that's
basic,
like the perfect one to start with.
Basic, you know, the basic one, you know?
Like, I think for me personally, as a grown ass man, it's not the fact that we're out there, you know, just purposefully going out like, yeah, you know what, I ain't worried about my wife tonight. I'm gonna just go do me and hopefully find another piece of ass. Like, that is not the case. It's seriously, half the time is, for me, it's like, you know what, I'm bored. I just want to go have fun. And it just so happens that sometimes, you know, another female may come up and be like, oh, I'm trying to holler, blah, 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 blah. Because there's been plenty of times, you know, as a bartender, doing other things, you know, women come up to you and they give you their phone number. They say, can you make me a special drink made just for me? Or they come up with some lines. And I'm like, no. Like, first of all, how many tips you giving? Like, you know, that's the only way it's going to get that special.
That's what you're supposed to use it for. You're supposed to just use it to get some tips.
Exactly. And some women out here thinking, oh my God, he's the best bartender. He loves me to death. Like, no, boo, it's not that serious. No. It's not. It's just business.
They want the clout.
It's just business. What about y'all?
Yeah, because I was looking at a video and it was saying, I think it was something that we shared, and it was talking about how the therapist or the doctor was saying, or the psychologist or something, she was saying more women cheat in her practice, like in her experience of being in having these, you know, conversations with couples. It's normally like it's more women are cheating than men.
Yeah.
Out of the people that she sees.
Yeah.
You think it's always been like that?
Maybe. I think that women
think
are
it'd be
just way
even
better
playing.
at
Hiding it?
I think it's an even plane.
I think it is, because I think guys want to believe the women are innocent and faithful. And
right? Because it's a feminine quality, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I
and it's
think
expected from guys.
That's kind of like what was that movie?
Yeah.
Freaking Best Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's probably one of the best examples. Is, you know, it was in Morris Chestnut's character. It was in his nature to do so, and he would just never have the forethought to think that his virgin of a wife could never do such a thing. It just, and long and behold, you know, he had to end up whipping Tay Diggs' ass. You know,
Yeah, temptation, man.
I do think that there's like this this cloud that kind of hovers over both genders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like including males. How a lot of times, you know, you hear one of your homeboys talking about, man, I don't trust no girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's from past experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then that, you know, that can lead you to think that might be true, and there are plenty of trustworthy women out there as well as trustworthy men.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's
I think it's
crazy.
all about who you surround yourself with. You know,
Exactly.
I mean,
What environment you're in?
yeah,
too.
like what environment you're in. If you're out looking for
bitches at a club
for
you're
girls at the
definitely gonna
club,
see
like you're
At
probably
the
not
same
gonna find
time-
a housewife.
At the same time, it kind of goes back to, like, you know what? I may surround myself around good people, but they may have some internal demons with some bad intentions. Because
Right.
like I've had females that, you know, I'm making them friends and we're cool. You know, we just chill at Starbucks, get lunch, and she talk about her significant other, I talk about mine. But underneath, she let out, you know, hey, you know, for the past 3 months, I've been feeling you. Like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Right.
You
Like,
know, I feel like when they
where?
get comfortable like that, that's where you either, you know, you test your
Exactly.
discipline or whether or not you know what the fuck you're gonna do, correct
Right.
her on the spot or not. Because a lot of girls are like that. They feel comfortable telling you about their significant other just to see how you respond,
Exactly.
and then let you see how you feel and be like, yo, listen.
I've learned a lot. So this summer, you actually met Natalie, who I'm dating now, right? My fiance now.
Yeah.
And we met out here, and we both agreed, not out of like a jealousy thing, but out of a possibility of misunderstanding, that it's probably not in our best interest to even have friends that we spend time with of the other gender.
Right.
Because I was honest to her from the get-go. I was like, yo, look, that's not gonna, I don't approve of that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't for me feeling insecure, but
You want to protect your
yeah,
relationship.
I want to protect it, you
You're
know. And if
investing in her.
that's what it requires, then
Right.
that's fine with me, you know. I don't
It's
have
just-
to be around.
It takes one.
Cut out the temptation.
Yeah,
Right.
it cut off the temptation before it even starts,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
What about the girlfriends that have girlfriends that are fucking just instigating? You know what I'm talking about?
oh yeah,
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? Not talking about
absolutely.
instigating with problems. I'm
We
saying,
got
like,
to that too.
girlfriends that be like, "Oh, come hang out and drink with me," and they go out with her, but that girlfriend's a slut, and be like,
Right,
"Yo,
and
go drink with
then
these
you might
guys."
say like, "Oh, well, he's never gonna find
Right.
out about this."
But
you
when
know?
you trust your
And,
girl,
hey, I've
it's
had,
up to her whether
I've
she
had,
can say
I've
no.
had homies, right, that have said that to me. Oh, bro, come on, man, your girl's not gonna find out. Or,
Man, I've seen
bro, you
homies
can
of
get-
mine that are hanging out with other homies' girls and stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, bro, this is violation, bro. Like, he's, oh, no, you know, if you don't know, don't hurt him. Like, nah, bro.
Nah,
Right.
man.
And I think
you have
that
to deal with that in the morning, you know.
that comes down to a bigger moral thing when it involves that. When you think if somebody, you know, if that's someone that you're acquainted with or someone that you consider your friend, and they're gonna say that, you know, if somebody's gonna tell me that, then I just don't trust them as far as I can spit, you know.
Right.
If they're gonna say that to me, then why don't I think they would?
Exactly.
If they were in a room alone with my girl, they'd try to make a move on her.
Right. The same with the people that talk shit about other people. It's like,
Right.
if you're talking shit to me about them, how do I know you're not talking shit about me to them? You know, like it's because your character shows that you just like to talk shit. So who you know what I mean? It's
and there's that wonder why when people are in relationships, why they kind of seclude themselves to just each other, just to avoid those freaking interactions with other people. Exactly, you know.
You have any experience with that, Jen?
Now, in what sense of people being the instigators?
Yeah. No, we're not talking about Vegas. Then over here, no. Oh, she's still connecting. We lost her a little bit.
Connecting.
There she is.
Hey, shout out to my baby.
Yeah,
I just saw you like
Yeah,
us. Hey, wifey online.
Yeah, we good. Loud and clear.
We're good.
Yep.
Okay. You know, I've played kind of both parties. I've been an instigator. I have, but I've been an instigator in senses of, you know, I know a lot about people. So there's situations I've been in where I know the husband ain't shit, and the wife. I know this because I've seen it. I've seen it in action, and I've seen it because maybe they've, you know, just how they move and who they are, and their wives are, you know, saying, okay, you know, this is how I feel about the situation. I really feel like, you know, he ain't shit, and you know, I really am at this point where I'm just trying to, you know, figure out what I want and all these things. I had this girl say, I'm thinking about cheating, not cheating, but like, I feel like I want to like maybe like make out with a guy or so, you know, just to get that excitement, you know? And the thing is, I could be like, oh yeah, he ain't shit. I saw him down the street with another bitch and, you know, all this other bullshit. Because there's some relationships that I believe in, like not getting in the middle of a relationship. Like I don't know what they have going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my whole thing is also like I always say, you know, do things that you really feel like you can live with the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what
If you are okay, if I always tell people this because I tell people don't cheat because you're trying to piss somebody off.
That's spiteful.
Don't cheat because you're being spiteful, right? Don't you know? Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to judge you for what you do, but don't do it if you're only doing it because you hope it's going to make him upset. Because at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel
You
like
have to look at yourself. If you can't look at yourself in the mirror, then you shouldn't be doing it. If this is not what you really want, then don't do it because you have to be able to know the consequences of how you're going to feel.
yes.
Exactly.
I feel like if you can make you are in charge of your decisions and how you feel, and if you make a decision that makes you happy, whether it is cheating and that's wrong, but if it makes you happy knowing that you found someone else that you're interested in, as long as you can own and live with it, hey, I ain't judging you. You know what I mean? If it makes you happy, do
Exactly.
it. But if you're
If
just
you
doing
can't
it
bear
to
those
make someone else
consequences-
upset, it's not cool.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
just
I don't
overall,
think that at all.
if you can't bear the whole entirety of the consequences that's going to come from whatever actions you take, just it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your energy, you know. And that's what a lot of people they lose sight of. It's just like, oh, well, he did this. They do the whole, well, he did it, so I'm gonna do it too, or she did it, so I'm gonna do it too. And it's like, I'll just miss it, man.
And then at the
You
end of the
miss
day,
concept.
when actions like that are taken, you know, to be spiteful or to get back at someone or revenge-driven actions, then
Sometimes
that's stooping to someone's level. First off, you know, and then
sometimes that revenge is not even that sweet.
Yeah, and then like Jen said, you know, so, and this is something that Natalie and I talk about a lot, is that we obviously trust each other, and we also know that if one of us did something to each other to hurt one another, then, like, if I hurt her, like, that probably eat me alive more than it hurt her, you know? So
I think there's you know, karma. people say this karma, you know. I believe in karma to a certain extent because I still know a lot of people that are bad people that nothing bad happens to them.
Yeah.
You know?
It ain't their day just yet.
not even like music artists. I know there's plenty of music artists that are married and they cheat on their wives all the time, but they're still successful and they're still good. But what I'm saying is like the regular Joe Schmoes. There's a lot of people that I know personally that are fucking bad people that do shitty shit, and nothing's bad happened to their life. Not saying it's never going to happen, but that's life. Shit happens, goes ups and goes down. But what I'm saying is the people that believe in karma, that what happens to you comes back and happens to you too. There's people that never had that happen to them, you know, and they're living life right now, older.
There's also, I mean, leading into it, there's also that misconception that it's easier for guys to deal with, you know, at the end of a relationship, like, you know, oh, I can move past it. I think that's a big misconception. I think honestly, it's harder for the guy as it is for the female sometimes, depending upon, you know, the individual person and their character and whatever their makeup is. You know.
That I have a question.
Okay.
Speaking of that,
Hey.
Men, how do you guys feel about the whole concept and premise of, you know, women thinking, you know, it's not even a women, maybe it's more society. You know, saying that, you know, the whole concept of men being emotional and having emotion and being able to be open and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, because they say, you know, for a woman, of course, it's natural for her to be emotional. Majority-wise, just because of society, maybe how you're raised.
You considered a bitch-ass nigga.
You know, man is supposed to be strong and things like that. Like, how do you feel about that? Because, you know, I think that also comes into play when it comes to dealing in relationships and like emotional, like
to your significant other.
Yeah,
to your significant other, you should be vulnerable.
Yeah,
because everybody's human, and if you're with a specific person that you love and you care for, you should be yourself and express your emotions. I mean, to other people, they don't need to know.
To say that I can't be vulnerable with my wife is just asinine. Because I mean. Here's my thing. Like 9 times out of 10, whether we all think it or not, like most women are bound to marry a man that's in comparison to their dad, whether it be like the dad or not necessarily like the dad. Same thing where it goes for men. We marry someone that is somewhat like mom or not like mom. You were vulnerable with your mother, right?
Yeah.
So
one of the things that I think about too is like, my favorite time in a relationship is when I get to express how I feel. And we have those hour-long talks that don't even seem like hours until you look at the time and it's been like 2 hours. Right. But the problem is when one or the other feels like you're complaining when you're expressing how you feel. Exactly. And if they feel like you're complaining, then they don't really care how you feel. Because you're expressing yourself and she should be listening or he should be listening and finding out how you feel and not to make you feel like that again.
Right.
You know, but once they sound like, oh, you're complaining too much, I guess you just don't care how I feel.
Right.
You know?
And things should be brought up. Things should be addressed from the get-go. Because if not, then that's what leads people into you know, doing subtle things and saying things that may be passive-aggressive, you know? Yeah. And then you've got this, like... Then you just got this kind of, like, friction between you. And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, somebody's going to be like, oh, well... I don't know. Things have been weird for a while, and you never said anything, you know, when maybe had you said something, you could have went ahead and sliced through that.
I think with men, it's important to have a variety of different emotions with your significant other. I mean, yes, you need to be vulnerable, but at the same time, you need to be strong. I mean, you know, for men, you should be able to be that. Like as for the way I grew up, my dad was the one that taught me you got to be the preacher, protector, and provider. So I'm stirring not only her emotions in the way that she should go for her own life and her career and pushing her to whatever aspirations she wants, but at the same time I'm pushing her soul and herself physically. Like you got to be able to play so many different dimensions that it shouldn't worry about, oh, I'm just vulnerable. Like no, you know, I'm my wife's muscle, I'm my wife's freaking teddy bear, whatever she needs me to be, that's what I got to be. And that is misconceived that, oh, well, you know, men ain't supposed to cry for the
right. No, like it's seen as a weakness.
She need to see some tears sometimes to know that, you know what, like I'm still human. I still got feelings.
Yeah, man, we're not robots. You know what I mean?
I got a question for you, Jen. I don't know how to explain it in words, but I'm gonna try. So, have you ever This is for everyone also.
Okay.
Have you ever had that feeling where you actually had an epiphany where you realized that you may be not the person that you are in a relationship? Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about?
The role you're supposed to play, so to speak.
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like when
No,
people call
it's
you
like-
out on your
it's
shit.
almost like you're in a relationship and then you realize the person you are in the relationship is not really who you are, but you've almost morphed in
Yes.
to this other person.
Yes.
But that's not who you want to be, nor is it who you are.
Right. Dang. That's
That's-
perfect.
That's yeah.
That's a good way to say it, man. I was trying to say it earlier, but I was like, how the fuck do I say it? But I'm glad Jen understands.
Well, like, are you guys talking about
For the good or for the worse? So I mean, because I mean,
Well, I take it, for me, I took it from, okay, for example, when I was married, in my marriage, I tend to take the role of, I'm a loving, affectionate person. I've always been like that. I'm a non-judgmental person, so I'm very open to, allow someone to be vulnerable. Like, that's something that I have my strengths in, is building relationships. So I have a way of building a relationship with a man where he can be vulnerable, be open. Now, what happened in the marriage was I also am almost like a mirror. So I tend to take on, like, if it keeps happening, for example, if I'm very loving to him, but he's not very affectionate back, it eventually starts to where I start to become not affectionate as
Right.
well.
You changed because he changed from the way
Right.
when you first met.
right.
Or like I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to still be affectionate, right? So you try to be loving. I'm trying to, like, hug him or like try to give him a kiss or something, because that's who I am in
Right.
a relationship.
Right.
But when somebody constantly pushes you away, when somebody constantly shuts the door, even if it's a joke or even if it's just like, it's just, it made me, I realized I started becoming very cold and robotic.
Right.
And I didn't like it.
Hey, Jen.
I didn't like
Yes.
it.
Jen, I have a
Because
question.
couldn't be who I was,
I have a question going back to what you were talking about. Do you think that's because it's natural for when people first meet, and you meet a significant other and you guys have this new feeling that no one else is giving you, because no two humans are going to ever interact the same, even friendships, relationships. Do you think that's because people, they get lost in that like honeymoon phase?
Complacency.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to, like, honestly, it all comes down to knowing yourself.
Right.
If you know yourself and you know what you want out of a relationship and you know this is what I want and I won't settle for anything else, and, like, for me now, I won't compromise. Like, if I'm affectionate and I want to be affectionate with you and you don't like it from the jump, then that's already a red flag.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But the problem is when they like it from the jump and then they change. And then when you stop showing them the affection because you're getting rejected and you're tired of being rejected, then they say you changed and it's an argument.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
happens
But
when
that's what
shit
happens.
doesn't get
That is.
What
addressed
happens
up
is
front.
we talked about this before, I think a long time ago, where I said that you treat your significant other like the first day you see them. You look at them with brand new eyes every day. The same way you met that person and you love them, you should be real from the jump.
Right.
Because if you changed later on, you wasn't real from the jump. You were putting on a show.
And
and that goes back to Jen saying that you should know yourself before you go into a relationship. So if you knew that you didn't like affection, when you first meet her and she gives you affection, you should be like, let her know right then, yo, chill, I don't really like it.
Right.
Because if you start giving her that affection, you're giving her that false information that he
Yeah,
likes
yeah.
this. And then 2 months later,
and then
you've been hitting it for a while and she gives you that, she tries to cuddle and you're like, get away. Like,
That's when you
careful, I
have
like
people.
that.
That's when you have people talking. That's when you
Yeah.
have people talking about, oh, this
Exactly.
girl,
Oh,
this
you
girl's
changed.
this
No, you
girl's
changed.
clingy.
You changed
You know what
'cause
it
I
is.
changed. I
You know what
changed
it
'cause
is.
you
A lot
changed.
of it has to do with. A lot of it has to do with. It's okay. Well, it's coming from you, and when I was at the gym the other day, I got a compliment from this other person, and like a lot of it is stemmed from like there's an involvement of another person, and that can be intentionally or unintentionally, because we've all had moments where you've been away from your significant other for more than a day or whatever the case may be, and you run into someone cute at the grocery store or whatever, and it's I like your glasses. Like my wife didn't say that the last 2 weeks, so you know what? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Right.
So stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
And it happens unintentionally.
You
know?
tell your girl before she goes to work she's beautiful, because if you don't, someone at work's gonna do it.
Exactly.
And she's gonna love going to work.
Exactly.
It takes a lot more effort than people think, you know?
It's
Just
weird
like
because
that.
it literally is just like that. Like, I've noticed how, you know, when I tell my wife, like, babe, you don't need a lot of makeup. You don't need no makeup. Just, babe, you could wear some sweatpants and still be cute. And hearing that, you know, on a regular term, you know, it allows her for her you know, she's confident. You see it in her, you know, and she still gives that same sentiment towards me. But the minute it slacks, like, you know, she's like, babe, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just tired of shit. Well, you ain't say nothing to me in a minute.
The
like,
one
you know,
short,
you're
and when you start responding in short bursts instead of like the way you usually talk.
When your text message is K instead of okay. Like,
yeah. Hey, text messages can definitely
show you the true
you
colors.
can't.
True colors
you
of a
can't,
motherfucker.
They mess up the
I
interpretation
hate
of communication.
That, I hate that interpretation of communication because it's like, look, you can't see my facial expressions, you can't see my body language.
Like when you text what the fuck, but she thinks you said it like what the fuck, but you're like what the fuck, but you can't you can't show the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, you know something? Since Natalie and I have been together, I've told myself from day one, like, yo, if she leaves me, it's my fault.
You know
right?
what? You know what? I actually had a conversation when you said that. It reminded me. I said the same thing. I said if someone leaves me in any relationship, it's gonna fucking piss me. It's not gonna piss me off. It's gonna upset me. But I'll be okay. You know why? Because I'm not sure. I'm not the only one that's been through a lot. Everyone's been through shit.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But when people come through from experience, they know what rock bottom is, and they know somebody walking out their life is not that big of a deal. And when you can actually express yourself and be like, listen, if you feel like you're gonna leave me, then leave me. Don't pull me around and pull me and just drag me along and fuck with my emotions and waste my time. If you feel like you don't think this is gonna work, let me know and express yourself. Either I care enough to make it work, or we go our separate ways. Because I know personally, if anyone leaves me, I'm gonna be okay.
Right.
I'm strong enough to be like, fuck it, I'll move on because my dad left me. You know what I mean? I almost lost my life. I know that this here is something minor compared to what I've been through, and I'll be okay.
Yeah,
right.
Me and my wife kind of established that like from the get go. Like when me and her started dating, and she saw that like, oh, he can literally take care of himself. Like, yes, boo, I've been cooking and cleaning and but at the same time, it's like it's like when me and her started dating, like I told her like, there's nothing that, you know, the only thing you can really do besides, you know, what you're supposed to do.
Perception.
You know what I'm saying?
Perception's a motherfucker.
It's like,
look at Jen, right? Jen's been all over the fucking world in less than fucking months, right?
Right.
So the perception from people that don't know her on that level is like, yo, that's attractive. You know, that's a girl that knows what she's doing. And how many people fucking actually hit you up lately? More people?
Look at that smile.
Look at that smile. You know, because it's attractive to see someone that knows who they are and where they're going, and people want to be a part of that. So
it's attractive, but it's attractive, but it's scary because it's like, you know what? I really want that,
and they want to fuck it up, or they want to be a part of it.
Exactly, or they realize, you know, they come to a realization that, you know what, he doesn't necessarily need me, so how can I get that? Or you know, she doesn't necessarily need me, so how can I get that? Because that's literally what it's about. It's like back to what y'all said, knowing yourself. When you absolutely know yourself,
you don't care.
You don't care.
You don't. Care. You don't. You feel so free that no matter, you can go. You metaphorically speaking, you can go out in public and be a fucking mess and know that you're happy and don't give a fuck with that person looking at you across the street, looking at you like, ew, this drunk mess. You don't give a shit.
I am a drunk mess. I'm fucking happy, motherfucker.
But when you're really truly happy and you know who the fuck you are, nothing can stop you. And just goes back to the whole question of whether or not, you know, the significant other goes and do something cheating or something like that. As long as whatever you do makes you happy and you can live with it, like she said, it don't matter what you do. You know what I mean? I'm not saying go cheat. I'm not saying go kill someone if it makes you happy. I'm just saying it's your life. They don't make bunk bed coffins. You die alone.
And at the end of the
shout
day,
out to DJ Prime. What's good with you, son?
At the end of the day, you don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. You know what I'm saying? Unless you physically harm someone.
What's understood does not need explanation. As long as you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, you do not need to explain it to nobody.
And that's the best thing that makes you realize how much you really do care about someone. Right? Like, so Natalie and I met out here. Right? She came out here. And then when she left, and I realized, like, oh shit, like, I I want her to stay in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that made me realize, okay, these are the things that I got to do, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta get up. We're on a different time zone right now. I got to get up in the middle of the night and call her, just say, hey, I love you, you know?
Hey, that's a
I'm
flash
thinking about
flash
you.
report for women. Like
matching your effort.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what matters.
And that, yep.
if she match your grind, hey,
Yep.
it's always.
And
it's
it's important to show your appreciation to someone when they do that too. To say, hey, look, it doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate that you're making this effort.
But some people got too much of an ego to let that come out their mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and that's the problem. Because there's a lot of people that don't have that ego and that'll say it and then they take it.
That's
through.
right. Yeah.
You know, it's fucked up.
And you got to ask questions too.
You do.
If you really want to get to know someone, like you got to ask questions.
One of my
and be
You
like,
gotta
hey,
ask the hard
what
questions,
What
man.
makes you act like
My
that? Why
biggest-
do you make those facial
My biggest
expressions?
pet
Or
peeve,
something,
yeah,
you know?
my biggest pet peeve is when you ask or you talk to someone and they give you those facial expressions that they don't notice they're doing, but you notice, right?
Right.
And then they don't know. They're like, I didn't do that. I was like,
Why you roll your
definitely
eyes?
Just roll your eyes. You know, but she don't know she rolled her eyes. It's a natural.
I didn't roll
response.
my eyes.
You know?
So what? You could see your eyes because I saw your eyes roll. Like
That's crazy though, and like it's just fucked up, man. You know, life is just life, you know. And I'm glad to see Jen doing your thing though, for real. Like,
Absolutely.
I thought you were gonna
Always,
stay in
babe.
Okinawa longer than that though, for real. For
bring
real.
your ass back.
For real, Jan. What the fuck you playing with our emotions like that, yo? You come out here for like 2 fucking days and you bounce.
She had, dude. I was uber excited when she came in here. I'm like, yo, I finally get to sit down in the radio with this woman.
She's like, oh, we're going
And
to see
then-
some chicken waffles tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I'll see her later. And then she's like, I'm on a flight back to mainland.
Wait,
I'm like,
hold the fuck on.
Yeah, I did. I saw her on Instagram one day. She was here, and the next day she's
She
like Kyoto.
She literally, she hit it and quit it, dude. She look, I'm gonna leave the money on the table.
I saw Jen
on
talking
the dresser.
about eating tiny little ramen bowls, like the 5,000 reasons she loved Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
But
on the move. That's what's
That's
up.
what's up, though, for real.
That's awesome.
I need to go to Kyoto. But, yo, be careful in Yokosuka. You heard about the murder in Yokosuka?
I definitely get no.
What?
Yeah, that happens every few years.
Hey, the world is getting out there, man.
Yeah, it
This
is.
doing some,
It is.
some
You know,
ratchet
for me,
shit, man. Trump, fix it.
I like I'm just taking every opportunity as they come, and you know I don't like to like put too much out there because I like things to like when they happen and when they're happening, then you'll just see it. But I have some mood things happening here. You know, I'm doing some stuff. Might be doing some stuff here in Tokyo. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just getting everything together. And,
Word.
And you know, might be going back to Africa, you know, staying for a little bit, and you know, might have the opportunity to go to Germany. So I'm really just,
I like seeing that though. I like seeing you make
Yeah,
it.
for real.
Come.
You set the even though you paved the
It's-
way, and that's crazy, though.
It's,
Hey, you
it's
need to-
one
you
it's one thing to hear like a celebrity, you know, that like they make the whole preach and talk like, oh, I started from the bottom, now here. But it's another thing when
To
you
see
know
the
someone and
process
see it
and
like
go
in the
through the
process,
process,
and it's
yeah.
like, you know what, that's such a wow factor.
Because
in
when they
your
do
life,
make
man.
it,
Dude, I'll tell you
it's gonna
what.
be crazy. All the people that
That's
be like,
crazy
"Oh, I was there for you
motivation.
since day one," but you really know who was the day one. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, yeah, I'll tell you what, man. It's crazy because people like even, you know, everything looks more sexy and extravagant on social media, obviously, you know, and it's up to us to embrace
That's
that. You
reality.
know what I mean? Like like whether you know it or not, Jen, there's probably people that follow you on Instagram and, you know, 18-year-old girls that say, man, like,
For real.
I want to be able to have the opportunity she
I'm
has, you
trying to
know?
be
No.
like Jim from
You don't
Japan.
understand.
For
Why she
real.
gonna have her own shirt?
It's serious.
No,
like,
for real, Jen.
Like some people really like
They look
they
up to
don't have
people,
they don't
but
have
they don't-
hope, bro.
They don't even tell
they
you
don't
that
have
they look
hope.
up to you.
So when they need hope, they go and they
Bro.
look at people right here who they can see.
Right.
And
That
when you're
age-
out there doing it,
When you find that shit out.
when
Real
you're
talk, that-
physically
that
doing
shit
it,
is-
it's you should be flattered.
I've had,
But you
I had,
need to
I had,
take
I actually had,
responsibility.
I had a moment like that last night at the ball that I went to. I went to my old unit, you know, my previous unit, and you know, the love that I got from everybody was genuine. But it was one individual that like he took me aside and he was like, "Hey man, like, you know, we never got to really chop it up, but blah 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 blah. It's good that you came back and like I see you doing good and da 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 da." And I'm like, dude, that. You trying to make a motherfucker cry? I ain't even
Bro,
drink enough, bro. Like,
I
what
had
the
one
fuck?
of those moments today. I went live on Instagram, and a whole bunch of people, you know, watching my story, watching my live, and then I saw some guy comment, and his profile picture was my profile picture.
Yeah, I
you
saw
know?
that. I
And
saw
then
that.
his name was like Hachi Hachi, and I was like, "Yo, that made me feel good," you know. And then I actually went live with him. I added him to the my
Yeah,
live, and he
right.
was mad excited, and he was saying something in Japanese like, "Yo, I look up, like I like you, you know, you're really good." And then I looked through my followers, and there's more. I've counted at least like maybe 20 people that had my profile picture, the anime picture, as their stuff, and that's such an inspiration. And I didn't know, but I swear Jen has people like that also.
Yeah,
because those people that are always viewing your shit and liking your shit, I guarantee one or more than one are like, yo, Jen, I look up to you like inspiration, and they're just scared to tell you. You know, and it's crazy.
Shout out to my boy Landry. He had him and his wife Tiana had their beautiful baby girl.
Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely.
But so what's the next move for you, Jen?
Shit, bigger and bigger moves. Shit.
I fly back to Vegas. I have a show the 17th in Oxnard, California.
Ooh.
And then yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
I just want to be your sidekick one day, just be your host.
Word.
I just want to come out there and be your host and just I'll be a groupie. Fuck it.
Real.
You know, it's
Real
a process.
talk.
I will say this: leaving Okinawa was the hardest thing I've ever done, and the best thing I've ever done for myself. Because yeah, the money, it becomes hard because you have to start over. It becomes a starting over thing for me, you know. So it's been a constant grind and struggle and hustle and stuff like that. But every time I look at my bank account and I'm like, damn, and it's not quite coming in as quick as you want to. But then I think about like, I wouldn't change it.
No, absolutely not.
Because I'm so much happier. Like, I am so much happier doing what I love and having the opportunity to travel and meet people and network and, you know, and just like put myself out there and kind of like pick people's brains, you know.
All right. So we got about 30 seconds left before we have to end this up. But Jen, thank you so much. Are you gonna be with us? Are you gonna be joining us tomorrow next week?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Hell yeah, you can.
If I don't have the show and the timing, absolutely.
Definitely, we'll
right,
keep
love.
you in touch. But thank you so much for being part of this.
Happy weekend.
Oyasumi nasai. Matane.
Bye, Jen.
Hey to everybody out there, tune in next week.
Yeah, thank you very much for
real.
listening. We really do appreciate it. And we hope that everything that we've talked about may be helpful and insightful to people, you know.
But shout out to all our sponsors once again. If you guys are going out tonight, drink, but drink responsibly. You know, there's a lot of crazy things happening. And if you have someone special in your life, tell them that you love them, you know, every single day. Just let them know that you care about them and you think about them because they might be afraid to tell you that that's what they want to hear. Other than that, it's your boy Will Make It, Koza, 76.1 FM, alongside
Sly
and Chandler.
We
J.
out
Swain.
this bitch. Arigato gozaimasu.
See ya.
Let's go party, niggas.
This week's sponsor is brought to you by Wing King, an Okinawan favorite for years. Offers American-style cuisine for locals and foreigners alike. The family-style seating is the perfect atmosphere for individual, family, or group dining. They have bilingual staff who speak both English and Japanese. They offer over 10 different sauces that is sure to satisfy almost any taste bud. Their delicious sandwiches offer an assortment of toppings, making it easily customizable to fit your palate. Looking for quick takeout? Hosting a party and need catering? Calling your order at 098-936-8986. Again, I say 098-936-8986. They now offer online ordering and delivery at fmkoza.jp, or you can call 098-943-1605 after 5 p.m. They do not take card. However, they do accept both yen and US dollars only. They hope to see you soon. Peace.
Thanks for tuning into The Heat, Okinawa's love, sex, and relationship show. Check out our podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat for new updates.
Who came to beat it up, Rocky? And don't use those hands to put up that